Hey guys, hey, we're the Wild Twins, Amber and Serena, and we've got a few questions from you guys. We're going to go through and answer them all for you now. What made you join Naked and Afraid in the first place? So we actually got approached by the team, so we have a Facebook page called the Wild Twins.
And Insta as well.
Yep, so we do a whole heap of wild, extreme, outdoor adventures, survivalism things as well. So when they approached us at first, we were quite hesitant.
A little bit hesitant on the naked part.
Yeah, but once we got our head around it and how much of an extreme challenge it is, we couldn't resist.
We call ourselves the Wild Twins because we are wild.
What did your parents, friends and relatives think of you going on the show? Our friends were like, hell yeah, go do it. Our friends know us well, so they were pretty much just like, right down your alley, get out there and do it. Parents were also very supportive. At first they were like, ooh, naked on TV. But once they got their head around it, they also were like, go for it, just do it.
You were the first ever Kiwis to be featured on Naked and Afraid. Would you recommend this to your family and friends?
Probably not. You have to be a special kind of person that actually loves challenges, loves the outdoors, and really can push yourself mentally and physically to the limit. So it's definitely not for everyone, and I definitely wouldn't recommend it for everyone. But for those people where you are into those sorts of things anyway, it's an awesome challenge to take on.
Finding it pretty difficult on this terrain. We're stepping on a lot of thorns. They are pretty much just everywhere. You can't avoid it. Oh my gosh. Nasty.
How do you protect yourself from infections when you get cuts? That one can be a bit of a tough one when you're out in the wilderness with nothing. So the best thing you can do is keep it as clean as possible. If you do have water, keep it washed, keep it clean, and if you can, makeshift some kind of a cover. Did you learn any survival skills that you found you could apply to your normal lives, and what were they? I don't think we really learned anything different, but we definitely pushed our skills to the limit. Why do you think being naked is such a big part of the show? So the naked part of the show is massive. Being in the elements with no clothes, just straight away, having so much exposed skin. It was winter in Africa, so it was freezing.
Our backs are really cold, but our fronts are burning, so we've just started a second fire behind us. It's cold. Very, very cold.
I do think that if you'd done the same thing clothed, it would be a totally different show, and it would be 10 times easier. We would have been able to do a heap more hunting. We would have just bush bashed our way through tasks that took us. Firewood takes hours when you're naked with no shoes. If we had clothes, you'd collect firewood in 5 minutes. So being naked is a huge disadvantage and really puts you back in that nature element. How do we prepare ourselves for surviving on Naked and Afraid? We obviously brushed up on all our survival skills. It was winter in New Zealand, and we would walk around barefoot with freezing numb feet, and we didn't really worry about stop eating food and like training yourself with no food, because we thought, oh, it's better to enjoy the food while you got it, and probably better to go into it with more food and all energized and ready to go, rather than weaning yourself off food before you even start. How were you able to function when you ate nothing but a scorpion in the first 8 days? The scorpion, let me tell you, was delicious.
It was.
It tastes like crayfish or lobster. It was just so, maybe it was the starvation that made it taste like that. It's possible.
Or not having any food touch your mouth for 8 days, but
it was delicious.
And eating 8 caterpillars instead, I'd rather go for the scorpion any day.
I've got my cutting board here and an arrow, so I'm gonna slice it all up into thin pieces, and we're gonna try dry it out into some biltong, which is dried meat, jerky.
Would you rather go up against a rhino or a bull elephant?
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a really tough one, because I don't think you'd want to go up against a bull elephant or a rhino, to be honest. Don't think you'd really stand a chance. A rhino, your only chance would be to get up a tree
very, very fast because the elephant can still pluck you out of a tree. Elephants have long trunks, so yeah.
And managed to make it to a tree. I'd rather go up against the rhino.
Yeah.
We are listening to elephants all around us at the moment.
Stalking leopard or a pack of hyenas? Oh, another tough one.
I probably think it's stalking leopard because at least there's one of it.
I'd go for the hyenas.
But a pack of hyenas though, when you've got a pack of hyenas and they're coming at you from all angles.
A lot of hyenas out in every direction. We can literally hear them on all sides of our pond.
What was your best and worst moments of Naked and Afraid? Best moment for me was definitely when that arrow struck for the impala. Man, when we'd been hunting for so long and then finally got our kill, it was an amazing moment.
We've got it. Follow it, quick. We got it. We got food. Yes.
And a worst moment for me, I think, is there was a few, so all of the nights actually were really, really cold and you practically had to sit in the fire to keep warm enough. There was a few nights in particular where the temperature really dropped. We tried everything, like lighting fires around us,
Multiple
fires and then burying coals, so you're lying on coals, but with that much skin exposed, there was just no way of keeping warm enough to be able to sleep.
Serena's just dug up a big area and shoveling a whole lot of coals in there with the machete. See if we can get some sleep.
Because the show isn't scripted, did you ever worry about running out of things to say? Not at all. You're very much in your own element. They kind of keep away, so you kind of just chat along or do what you'd normally do. So running out of things to say didn't even cross our mind.
No.
To what extent did the film crew go to document everything you did?
The film crew, they really do film everything. They follow you everywhere. They film everything. At night time, they set up trail cams everywhere, and we have our own diary cam, so everything's captured.
They couldn't show a lot of things.
There was some pretty wild things that happened that weren't on there. So getting trampled by an elephant, that wasn't on there.
And also, when we got the impala, we actually tanned the hide using the impala brains and made shoes out of them, so it didn't show any of that either, so that would have been quite cool to show.
Oh, really, thank you. Beautiful, beautiful animal. I really hope we can make shoes now. We've got to hide.
How has this experience changed your views on Africa, and would you go back? We've been to Africa before, and you do your thing where you watch the animals from afar, so being in amongst it, really heightened the experience. What do you think was your most extreme adventure outside of Naked and Afraid? So we do quite a bit of mountaineering. And for me, the one that sticks out is one close to home, Mount Cook. So that's the highest mountain in New Zealand, and often a training ground, stepping stone to go to Mount Everest because it's got a similar terrain. What does your dream adventure bucket list look like?
Oh, I have such a massive bucket list. All the mountains are on there. One day we'll get around to them. Going down the Amazon River and ice climbing and mountaineering.
What do you think you'd be checking off next on your adventure bucket list? That is a little bit of a tough one because everything's been tipped upside down.
It was supposed to be, we had planned a trip to Antarctica to climb a mountain down there. However, timing wasn't great. We'll probably have to do New Zealand stuff for a while, which is great because New Zealand has so many cool outdoor epic adventures anyway. But yeah, once things open it up again and the world gets a little bit more normal, we'll be able to plan overseas things again as well.
Alright, well thanks for listening guys, and we'll catch you guys later.
Great chatting.
We actually made it 21 days in the African wilderness. It's a sweet, sweet feeling.
amazing to be the first Kiwis to do this challenge, and I hope New Zealand is proud of the wild twins.
Can't get enough of Discovery?
Subscribe now to avoid missing out on the latest content.